Hey, welcome back. Eric Arnold here in the Sports Barn on this Wednesday evening, 23rd of March. And we're here to give you the 16 picks, the Sweet 16 college basketball picks. So let's get to that. My bracket, I had Arizona on the top line. They're the champions. Then I had Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, rounding out that with Arizona beating Kansas and Kentucky beating Duke. So Kentucky, of course, that one lost that with everyone else. I didn't have Baylor. I actually had Carolina beating Baylor in the round of 32. So that was like my shining moment, if you will. But that's been one of my only shining moments. In the ESPN rankings, if you will. If you filled out a bracket on ESPN's mega tournament or whatever, they keep score and tell you what your percentile is, where your rank is. I think I'm like 61 percentile. In other words, 61% of the brackets are worse than me. It's like, okay. I know this, if you're in school and you get a 61, you flunk. Does that still happen? It did when I was in school. 61 was failing. I have a feeling 61 now probably gets you some kind of plaque or something that nobody fails. And, you got 61 of them right? Congratulations. That's more than half. It's better than flipping a coin. Let's make you, let's make you the CDC director or something. That's where I feel it is now. I could be wrong. But the good news is I still have 3 Final Four teams still alive. So I think that number is going to go up as long as we have an okay round of 16 and don't lose all Final Four teams here before in the next round or two. So going through here, Arkansas, Gonzaga. As I said, I don't have Gonzaga in the Final Four, so I'm not a Gonzaga person. I like Arkansas here. I really do. My thought on Arkansas, and I'll probably make an ass of myself because this is probably not true, any of this. I'm making assumptions which are not in evidence. I think I learned that on Law and Order. Making assumptions, sir, judge, objection, assumption not in evidence. Yeah, okay. So what I'm assuming, they have a large center, 7'4" kid, who I saw play significant minutes last year. And they were good last year. If we don't remember the history of Arkansas, they went to the round of 8 last year and lost to the eventual champion, Baylor. So here now, the following year, how good is Arkansas? They were pretty good last year, right? So this center is still on the team. Well, he gets no minutes at all now. He gets no minutes at all. He warms the bench. And I thought, well, wait a minute. I know they have a good coach. I like their coach. I think he's a really good coach, Eric Musselman. So if this kid's not playing, that tells me he doesn't need him. He didn't suddenly get bad. I mean, this is a kid it's not his second year. He's been there a while. He is what he is. He's an uncoordinated kid that probably blocks shots and gets the occasional rebound and otherwise is probably a foul factory. But if he's not playing him, that tells me that this team is better than last year's team, that Musselman doesn't need him. So he's improved the team such that this kid can't get minutes. That's my thinking. So my thinking is Arkansas, this edition of Arkansas is better than the edition that went to the Elite 8 last year. So now I'm catching 9.5 points against Gonzaga, a team I think is vastly overrated, and I made that clear in some previous videos. 9.5 points? 9.5 points? Oh yeah. I love Arkansas in this matchup. Love him. Come on now. I mean, you got to say this is a sandwich game where Gonzaga has got to be looking ahead to the winner of the Texas Tech Duke matchup. Both teams much tougher than Arkansas, I would say. So they got to be thinking, it's like, all right, we walk through these guys, and then that's when we got to really be minding our P's and Q's. When we go up against Tech or Duke, that's when we got to be ready. I think they need to be ready tomorrow. I think Arkansas is going to give them all they want. Absolutely. I'm pretty sure that Arkansas last year, remember, I'm saying this version of Arkansas is better than what they had last year. They lost by 9 points to Baylor. Baylor was the champion. Baylor was vastly better than Gonzaga. Vastly better. If you want to get really exotic or really want to go for broke, you could play the money line here and just go ahead and take the upset outright. I think this is going to be a very close game. I think Arkansas could end up just pulling the upset. But 9.5 points, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love this game. I love the pigs, the hogs. Call the pigs. Woo, pig! Arkansas. All right. This game I'm totally afraid of. This is one, there's certain games that I have invented a term just this week, a punch a hole in the wall games, or hole in the wall games. These are games that are, you got to have them. And if you lose, you're going to punch a hole in the wall. This is one of these games for me. Villanova is my team. I like Villanova. I mean, I had this discussion with Ohio State people this weekend, and they were very unhappy with me. But I think when push comes to shove, unless Ohio State has an unbelievable team, I got to go down with the Villanova Wildcats. This is my special bunch. They always have been. And with Jay Wright, he's the best coach in the country. And I hate Michigan. Oh, I hate Michigan. I mean, this is almost like a cross between my Ohio State and Villanova fandom coming together. And there's Michigan. And that's the reason I hate Michigan is because I went to Ohio State, which has nothing to do with Villanova. So this is just kind of a weird game. But especially now with this whole deal where Juwan Howard getting special treatment, he should have been fired. They show a video there of him consoling the defeated Tennessee player. Oh my God, give me a break. I would have liked to see what he would have done if he had lost to Tennessee. I bet he wouldn't have consoled the kid then. But, oh man, I cannot stand Michigan. So, I'm going with Villanova here. I'm just going to roll with the White Hats. Villanova, I think Jay Wright is a vastly superior coach to Juwan Howard. So I'm hoping that he takes care of business. This happened, 2018? 17. I forget. They played each other in the finals at some point in the past. And I was feeling the same way, like, oh my God, somehow Villanova's got to get this game. I don't want to lose to Michigan, and Villanova killed them. So I'm kind of hoping something similar happens, that Michigan's been very inconsistent this year. For every time they go out there and play a game like they did last weekend where they've crushed Tennessee, they throw a clunker. And it's possible that by the way they hammered Tennessee, they might just be starting to smell themselves now. That maybe they're thinking, yeah, we're great. We're going to just roll right to the finals because we've got all the talent on this team. We didn't play very well, but we didn't try to play very well. And now we're going to go out there and take care of business. So here we go. So I'm hoping that's what happens, that Michigan rolls out there. They're overconfident, and Villanova is able to beat them with good defense and good basketball. So we're going to take Villanova. I'm afraid of this game. I know I'm going to be very unhappy if Villanova loses. So Duke, Texas Tech, I don't have a good feel here. I took Duke just because that's the way my bracket reads. Look, this happens in college basketball, whether you want to admit it happens or not. You're in the late minutes of this game. It's a close game. I think everybody expects it's going to be a close game. and there's a borderline call. It could go block, it could go charge. And Mike Krzyzewski is over there, been working the refs the whole game, making sure they know that this is his last go-around. Maybe, just subconsciously, he gets a call that he shouldn't have gotten. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Okay, I am saying exactly that. It will happen. This is what's going to happen. This guy's going to get a couple calls. And in a close game, I think that's going to be the difference. So we'll take the 1.5, and we'll say that Duke is going to go ahead and somehow get past Texas Tech. Plus, Duke just has more NBA talent. I mean, that's one of the things I'm looking at, too, is I went through that list of who has the top 100 NBA prospects going into next year's draft, and certain teams had a lot more players than other teams did. And Duke is one of these teams that has a shitload of, shocker, Krzyzewski, who has a direct pipeline to the McDonald All-Americans, that he has more NBA talent than Texas Tech. Shazam. So based on that alone, we're taking Duke. More or less, that's why we're taking Arizona here in this next game. That was my pick to go all the way. They have NBA talent on that Arizona team, which is a good thing because they just about got their asses beat by TCU. They didn't play hard. Let's put it that way. TCU out-hearted Arizona in that 32 round. TCU probably should have won the game, but Arizona kind of won the game just on talent alone. If Arizona can reach down and find some guts, get an occasional defensive rebound, no one's going to beat this team. They just let TCU rule the glass. I would hope that they're able to find a little bit of pride that it's like, hey, they just kicked your ass in the glass. What are you guys going to do about that? I mean, you're tall. Arizona has, I think, the tallest team in the tournament, maybe if not the country. But, there's tall, and then there's guys that go get rebounds. And usually these are wide, bad dudes. And I don't know how many of those Arizona have. This is going to be a very close game. I'm just going to go with the NBA talent, and it's on the top line of my bracket anyway, so it wouldn't make sense to pick the other team. We'll take Arizona. The line's very short, very short. Houston, I think there's a class thing here where, these smaller conferences, they only go so far, and then there's really not that much difference, although, frankly, if I'm saying it that way, between the American and the Pac-12. There are a lot of bad teams in the Pac-12. So, very close game here. Very close game. I have Arizona winning. We're going to keep it that way. St. Peter's, Purdue. This game's in Philadelphia. I like St. Peter's. You know what? Remember this happened last year, 15 seed. I know Chuck Armstrong remembers this happening. That Oral Roberts beat Ohio State. So he remembers it. And then they went ahead and they beat Florida. And then they played, I believe it was Arkansas in the 16 round. And they took Arkansas to the end. Lost by 2 points. So it was very close that Oral Roberts ended up in the round of 8. I know you're looking at something similar here. I don't see St. Peter's just going out there and getting hammered by 20. I think they're going to give Purdue all they want. For one thing, this game is in Philadelphia. So even though only 5 people have ever gone to St. Peter's, all 5 of them are going to be at the game. Their entire families are going to be at the game. Their extended families are going to be at the game. Anybody that's ever gone to the Metro Athletic Conference is going to be at the game. And then everybody in that arena that are there to see the next game, which would be Carolina and UCLA, which is the other 95% of the crowd, they're going to be rooting for St. Peter's because they think they can beat them. So this is going to be a significant home crowd advantage for St. Peter's. The kids from Purdue, what, 10, 15 times a year? They're used to having 17, 20,000 people screaming for them. They're used to that. St. Peter's has never had that. These kids have never had 18, 20,000 people yelling for them. I think that's going to shove these kids pretty hard. I would not want to be playing this game if I was Purdue. I think I'd rather be playing Providence or somebody like that. This is not a good spot here for Purdue. I love 12.5 here. Go ahead, take the underdog. One more time for St. Peter's. That's what I think there. In Chicago, we got Providence, Kansas. I'm taking the underdog again, Providence. They're playing well. The Big East is a tough conference. I don't know Kansas is some super team. I think we can go ahead here and say that I don't know. I mean, I like Kansas. That was my other pick to win it all, and I came up with Arizona instead. But Providence is playing well, so this game might be close. We'll take the points. I just don't see that super team out there this year. I'm trying to make Arizona into that super team, and I'm hoping that they play with another gear at some point, hopefully tomorrow. So we'll go ahead, take the points. We'll take the points again in the late game on Friday in Philadelphia. Carolina, UCLA. What a blue chip matchup this is. My God. Say what you will. I like to fade Mick Cronin. We've made that pretty clear. I think his against the spread record is, it is what it is. It's below 500. So that's not good. For whatever reason, he's had a lot of success. He just doesn't cover numbers. And we're going to fade him again here. I think the NBA talent is on Carolina, and they seem to have found something now. They really seem to have found something. Winning there at Duke to wreck Krzyzewski's special night, beating Baylor, the defending champions. These guys have a pretty high ceiling if they play well. I don't know UCLA is even that good. So I think Carolina can beat these guys even without playing their best. We're going to take the 2.5. I mean, if you're asking me between the two teams, who's the better team? I think it's even. And you're giving me 2.5 points? Give me Carolina. And then lastly, this is a toss-up for me. I don't have a good feel for this game. We're just going to go ahead and take Miami just because. I saw a tweet that in the last 5 games that Jim Larranaga has played against coaches that have a longer last name than he has, like Krzyzewski. He's 5-0. And Otzelberger is longer than Larranaga. So therefore, he would then go 6-0 and beat Otzelberger. Hey, it's good enough reasoning for, I don't know, me, I guess. I'm not actually going to bet on the game, but we got to make a pick. So we'll pick Miami. But yeah, I really like, some of these games here. I like St. Peter's. I like Arkansas. I like North Carolina. These are the ones I feel pretty strongly about. Should be a great next couple of days. Baseball-wise, I'm doing some preparation, getting ready, familiarizing myself with the good teams. We'll have some preview videos leading into the 7th of April. And then once the 7th of April rolls around, I'm thinking then we'll get back in the rhythm of probably, I would say 5 videos a week at that point. So, that's good stuff. We'll see. I might mark, some mental benchmarks as far as viewership of what we need to hit. In other words, hey, videos are taking 20 hours a week out of my week, and we're doing it for 20 people. Might not be worth it, frankly. So we'll just see if the viewership numbers are where they need to be for me to keep putting out winners. Good, great, hey, thanks. This is what we like to do, at least at some level. So Very good. We'll talk again. I'm Eric Arnold. I believe in winners. I believe in free speech. We'll talk again. Oh, yeah, hit the like button. That always makes me feel good.